Welcome back to Cash and Sass, the podcast where we ditch the shame, talk real numbers, and build bold, bankable wealth without sacrificing who we are. I'm your host, Lisa Marie, fractional CFO, money mentor, and the sassy wealth queen behind Transcendent Wealth Co. And if you're ready to scale with strategy, own your power, and finally feel wealthy in every sense of the word, then you're in the right place. In this episode, we're talking about the number one mistake creators, business owners, and entrepreneurs make with money, even when they're earning well, and why it quietly creates stress, instability, and second guessing. So, without further ado, let's dive in. Okay, the biggest mistake I see creators and business owners and entrepreneurs make is this: they treat money like a series of isolated events instead of a living pattern. So let me explain. Most people experience money moment by moment. A good month feels safe. A slow month feels scary. A big expense feels threatening. A big launch feels relieving. Everything is emotional and reactive. But y'all, money doesn't operate in moments. It operates in patterns. And if you only evaluate money in snapshots, you will always feel unstable. And I mean always. No matter how much money you make, doesn't matter if you're bringing in $5,000, $10,000, $50,000 a month, you will always feel unstable. So here's what snapshot thinking looks like, okay? You check your bank account, you feel relief or panic. You see a big deposit, you exhale. You see a big withdrawal, you tense up. Your nervous system is riding your transactions like a roller coaster. Y'all, that's exhausting. And most people don't realize that the problem isn't the number. It's the lack of context around the number. So, for example, let's say you have a $30,000 month. That's a great month, right? Then the next month you bring in $14,000. Immediately your brain says, "Oh, hell, what happened? Is this a problem? Did I mess something up? Did something go wrong? What happened?" But what if your pattern over the last 12 months shows a rhythm of something like this? 28,000, 16,000, 35,000, 18,000, 32,000, 14,000. So now that $14,000 month doesn't look like a failure, right? It looks like a rhythm because you have the last 12 months, last 6 months of looking at what was going on. Oh, I don't need to panic. This is the rhythm, right? Y'all, without pattern awareness, every fluctuation will feel personal. With pattern awareness, instead, it becomes predictable. And predictability creates calm because you can work with that. When you don't understand your money's pattern, you make decisions from emotion. So you might overcorrect during slower months, overspend during the higher months, delay investments unnecessarily, panic hustle when it isn't needed. Anybody done that? All because you're responding to one data point instead of the full story. That's the mistake. It's not that it's bad math, not that it's irresponsibility. It's pattern blindness. You're not seeing the pattern and the rhythm of the money coming in, where it should be allocated, the rhythm of the money coming in. And if you were to see the rhythm, instead of overspending, you would be making sure that you had the money for those slow months, right? You would understand there was no reason to panic. Oh, okay. And be able to adjust with that rhythm. Here's the shift I want you to take from this episode. Stop asking, is this month good or bad? Instead, start asking, what is my money's pattern telling me? Now, if you don't know your money's pattern yet, that's okay. That's okay. No beating yourself up. Start. Just start. And here's the thing, start simple, okay? So look at the last 6 to 12 months and write down what your revenue was, because you want to ask yourself, what's my average monthly revenue? Then you want to look and say, what's my average monthly baseline expense, right? Those are those monthly reoccurring expenses. Where are the natural dips and spikes? Now, here's the key that I need you to understand when you're doing this. So many entrepreneurs and business owners and creators who have worked with me in the past and who've come to work with me, when we do this exercise, they immediately start judging. They immediately start beating themselves up. And that's not what this exercise is about. And I tell them the exact same thing I'm telling you now. When you're doing these exercises, you're not doing it to judge. You're doing it just to observe. Because in order to have the power to make the decisions and have that predictability, you have to have the information. And in order to have the information, you've got to observe. Observation reduces drama. And drama reduces chaos. Right? Okay. So why this changes everything? When you understand your pattern, you don't panic during the dips. You don't overspend during the highs. You're adjusting. You understand the patterns. You're able to look and say what you need to do to prepare for the next month or plan accordingly as you're doing your launches. You don't feel like every decision is life or death. And the reason you don't is because now you have context. And context creates leadership. Money becomes something that you're able to interpret, not something that controls you. And that's really, really important. Because as business owners and creators and entrepreneurs, you are the CEO of your business. So you want to have that leadership. And having this information, that context, creates leadership. Now, here's an important distinction. And I need you to listen to me really, really carefully on this, please. Pattern awareness does not mean predicting everything perfectly. You are going to make mistakes. I can guarantee it. I have. I've been in business 9 years and I have made them. Pattern awareness does not mean predicting everything perfectly. What it does mean is knowing what's normal for you. And again, your normal and my normal are going to be two different things because we're two different people, we're in two different businesses, and we have different clients. It means knowing what's normal for you. When you know your normal, you stop personalizing fluctuation. And that alone reduces so much stress. Most business owners don't need more revenue, y'all. They need more reference points. They need more context. They need more information in order to make the decisions, make better decisions. Okay. After this episode, I want you to do this. Instead of opening your bank account and asking, how much is there? I want you to instead ask, how does this compare to my normal? That question pulls you out of panic and instead into perspective. And perspective is the beginning of having financial maturity, which is also leadership. Okay? And the reason this is because without pattern awareness, everything will feel urgent. And y'all, urgency makes people reactive, impatient, and emotionally driven. It just does. With pattern awareness, you instead become strategic. And strategy is what turns income into wealth. Now, I want you to understand that this episode isn't about building a forecasting model. Instead, it's about realizing that money feels unstable when you only look at pieces of it. So instead, zoom out. See the patterns. Patterns calm the nervous system. Being able to recognize the patterns calm the nervous system. And a calm nervous system makes better decisions. It makes better strategic decisions. It doesn't make them reactively, chaotically, or emotionally. Until next time, remember, confidence and cash are the ultimate power duo. Go check in with your money, and as always, have a fantastic and wealthy day.